You are listening to Max Inc. Radio, and I'm Terry Barr. I am thrilled to welcome to our show the great guitarist, Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Hi, Kenny Wayne. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. How are you?
I am great, and I hope the same for you. I know you're super busy. You're just back from Europe, I understand. And of course, you're on a tour featuring Trouble Is, which is 25 years old. Is that hard to believe?
Yeah, on one hand, it seems like time has gone by so quickly. And then on the other hand, I have a lot of stuff to show for the past 25 years. It's been really cool doing this tour and, getting to kind of revisit that album. We recorded a new version of it. It's called Trouble Is 25. And we did a whole big, huge package. We did a documentary film telling the story of the making of the original Trouble Is record. We put out a live DVD from the very first concert of the tour in my hometown in Shreveport. We did this really cool yearbook, with all these really amazing photographs. And we really wanted to do it up because this was a special record for us. I think it was a monumental record for us. And I believe for the genre too, for the kind of blues rock genre. Most artists will just go and kind of repackage the same record and,
Yeah.
put it out there, but we really wanted to do something special. So, we did the tour and we played the whole album live in concert for the very first time, and it went over so well, it just kept getting extended. And then, like you mentioned, we just took it over to Europe, and that was kind of wrapping up that part of the tour for us. So now that we're back in the States, we're actually doing a new set list that features some of our most recent material. And I also decided, since we've been playing the second album for almost the past year and a half, maybe we should go back and do some of the songs from the first record, Ledbetter Heights. So the set is right now, it's about half of the first album.
What is the response when people are hearing some of your really old music, but now also your really new music?
Well, it's great, actually.
Yeah.
It's impressive is to see how many people know the new stuff. Like, and given our most recent album came out, it was like 2019, so it was right. We were touring to support that album when COVID happened, but by the way, we have two brand new records already finished, ready to go. So I think we're going to have one new album that'll come out before the end of the year this year, and then we'll already have another one to follow that one up with. But what's great is seeing how many people know the new material as well as the older stuff.
You are well loved, and as you mentioned, you're going to be I looked at your schedule. It's crazy. You are going to be all over the US now, starting this week in Wisconsin Dells. That's Friday, June 23rd at the Crystal Grand Music Theater. And then, you basically go through the end of this year. What are you looking forward to as you kind of embark on this entire United States tour?
Well, I'm looking forward to playing for the people. I mean, that's what we love to do. We make records so we can play concerts, because that's really what we do best. And what's amazing is like the turnout. It's like today, success is measured differently. Used to be, it would be, what your chart position was for your latest single and how many albums and CDs you had sold, and all that stuff has changed now. And really, to me, it's about, how many tickets are being sold and how many people are showing up to the concerts. And we've been on a roll like this past year and a half. Most of our shows have been sold out.
Yeah.
We're into bigger venues in some markets than we've ever played before. And I launched my own blues festival last year, and we've been doing some of those shows this year. It's called the Backroads Blues Festival, and that's been going extremely well. So I've been doing this going on 30 years. And, we're still innovating and still doing new things, and we're still reaching new ears and new fans, and expanding the fan base. And to
Yeah.
me, that's incredibly exciting. We're not just on autopilot. We're making new music, we're playing new shows, and we're reaching new people. And that's what
That
it's
is
all about.
great. And there just is something about the blues. I mean, I know there's been the ups and the downs of the blues, and that's kind of what the music tells too. But the stories in the blues music, both the older music and now this newer music, it's just so incredible. It's got to be so fun to play.
The thing that I always loved about blues music when I connected with it at such a young age
Yeah.
was because it was really, the thing that is most required for you to be able to play it legitimately is to be able to play music from your heart. And
Hmm.
it's just all kind of emotion focused and feel based music. And so that was something that I felt like even if I couldn't identify with the lyrics of the song, I could identify with the emotion that was put into the music. That's what I try and do every night is just play, straight from the heart and make people feel, what I'm feeling up there. And I think that, we've connected with a lot of people doing that. And our music is, we kind of run the gamut from, sometimes we'll play a traditional blues song. And, a lot of times, even going back to my first album, my first single, Deja Voodoo, I mean, that's not a blues song. It's like blues infused rock and roll, if you
Yeah,
will.
yeah, yeah.
And, I think that's what's helped us reach, a broader audience as well.
Okay, along with your love of music, I find this so interesting. You have a love of cars too, and not just like new cars, older cars. And I just find this fabulous. This 1950 Ford Business Coupe. When did you start getting into kind of these collector cars?
Well, I've always been a car person when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Everywhere I went, I had Hot Wheels cars in every one of my pockets. And in art class, I would always draw automobiles and stuff. And, early in my career, when I was doing interviews, people would be like, well, what are you going to do if this music thing doesn't work out? And my standard response was, I'm going to race cars. And
Oh,
thankfully, the music thing worked out. And so that gave me the opportunity to pursue my passion with cars. And so, I just kind of got into, the American muscle cars, the classics
mhm.
from the 60s and the 70s and the modern day stuff, as well, because Dodge in particular, I'm a Mopar guy. Like there's a new one coming out called the Demon 170 that I'm planning on getting. And it's like 1,025 horsepower. So, you can have a lot of fun with that.
I'm going to assume, even though you're so busy with touring and music, you do find some time to drive these cars.
I do actually. I just got back from a road trip called the Hot Rod Power Tour that Hot Rod Magazine does every year, and I've done it probably 10 different times over the years. And it's like a big rolling car show, and there's thousands of guys in their hot rods and their muscle cars, and it's like a caravan from city to city, over the course of a week. So you're driving your car for, I mean, you're putting at least about 1,000 miles on your car over the course of the week, and you're taking the back roads. You stay off the interstate, so you get to see
Yeah.
parts you wouldn't normally see. And so, yeah, I mean, the cars that I've collected or acquired over the years, I have them and they're meant to be driven. So I certainly enjoy them. That's also the same approach that I take with my guitars. It's like, they're tools and they're meant to be used. So that's what I do with them.
I love it. We are talking with Kenny Wayne Shepherd here on Max Inc. Radio. Now, you started your career as a teenager. Your career, that wasn't just like you goofing around. You had a career. When did you actually start playing guitar? And then how did you know this was going to work for you?
I mean, I was messing around with these little toy acoustic guitars that had nylon strings, when I was about 4 years old, and I could
Yeah.
play stuff. Harry had a little lamb and smoke on the water and stuff like that. But I got my first electric guitar at age 7, and that's when I started really kind of putting in the time and the effort every day. For hours and hours, I just played guitar, and nobody made me do it. I just did it because I love to do it. And I loved the instrument, and I mean, the quick timeline is I got, electric guitar at age 7. I got on stage at age 13 for the first time. I recorded first demos at age 14. I put my band together at age 15 and I signed my record deal at age 16.
It's incredible. I mean, just talking to you about this now, and I know you are in your 40s. You are talking about all the new music you have still to come. But is there something else that you're still looking forward to? Maybe something you haven't done yet or something you want to do all over again?
We have a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. I mean, like I said, we've got 2 brand new records that are yet to be released. I have
Yeah.
another where we just did a really fun experiment and went into the studio and recorded a bunch of rock and roll cover songs by bands that you wouldn't never expect necessarily for us to record their stuff.
Nice.
at some point, I think we'll probably go back and revisit the first album, Ledbetter Heights, in a
Ooh,
similar fashion of what we did with the second album, Trouble Is, maybe for the 30th anniversary of that record. Growing this blues festival that I recently launched, which is really important to me, and
yeah.
watching that thing take off is, I mean, there's just, I'm trying not to sit still, and I'm trying to do new and different things and keep it interesting both for us and for the fans.
Okay, before we let you go, do you have a funny story or maybe something maybe not so well known about you?
I mean, the thing that most shocks most people, to be honest with you, is that, I've been married now for, wow, I guess we're coming up on 17 years of marriage, and my wife have six children, and
Wait, what?
everybody,
Six?
yeah, everybody seems to be shocked by that. So,
I think you just shocked me. Yes. Oh my goodness.
yeah, my musical legacy will be one thing, but what you leave behind with your children and your family is a whole nother ball game, and my kids are wonderful, and I'm really proud of them.
You know what? On that note, I'm going to say thank you and happy Father's Day to
Yeah,
you this weekend.
thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Kenny Wayne Shepherd playing at the Crystal Grand Music Theater in Wisconsin Dells. That's happening this next Friday, June 23rd. I'm going to say this is a don't miss it show. And there are still just a couple of tickets left, so get them now. Kenny Wayne Shepherd, thank you so very much for your time.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's great talking to you.
Oh, you too. My goodness. I'm Terry Barr. You are listening to Max Inc. Radio all across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network.